it was written, both is not known. Basically, this letter has been received by HPV in 1885, and then in 1889 she published this letter with a title called "Some Words on Daily Wisdom." So with that, she published this letter, but she gives an introduction that saying that this is a Christian theosophist who had written that why should the Oriental religions be studied by the Theosophical Society? After all, Christianity has already given all the teachings, so there is no need to study the Oriental religions. That is the first thing he said. That part of that letter was I would request everyone to be mute. I don't know who it is who is speaking. Please mute. So, so that part of it, that which was countered by the master, and that was covered by Pradip ji last time. The second part of what that Christian theosophist said is that he thinks because he is a theosophist, he has the right to judge anybody else. Anybody he has a right to judge. That part we will cover today. What did the master write about that part? So let us look at what the master says. It begins with theosophy must not represent a collection of moral verities, a bundle of metaphysical ethics, epitomized in theoretical dissertations. That means theosophy just should not be only theoretical. Theosophy must be made practical and has to be, therefore, to be disencumbered of useless discussion. So, having just constantly discussing the details, the theoretical aspects is not at all enough. It has to be made practical. It has to find objective expression in an all-embracing code of life, thoroughly impregnated with its spirit, the spirit of mutual tolerance, charity, and love. So, by the here it says, the master says that it has to be impregnated with the spirit of mutual tolerance, charity, and love. What does the word mean? Impregnated means it should be full of, like we know what the Buddha said about there are four parts to us. One is our body, second is our emotions, third is the content of our mind, all our thinking process. The fourth one is our mental state. And even HPB in the studies to occultism has said that chelaszip is a state of mind. So that state of mind has to be a state of mutual tolerance, which means we accept people just as they are, charity, which means having a generous spirit, and then a loving nature. So that is a fundamental part of being a practical theosophist. This state. Let's go ahead. Its followers have to set as the example of a firmly outlined and firmly applied morality before they can get the right to point out, even in a spirit of kindness, absence of a like ethic, unity, and singleness of purpose in other associations and individuals. So he says that those who are following theosophy have to have by themselves develop a firmly outline, that is a clear marcation of what kind of morals they want to follow, what are the do's and don'ts, which we know as yam, niyams, and so many other, the paramitas. So what is the moral outline that we have to follow and apply that moral outline to our daily life. And even in a spirit of kindness, even out of a goodwill, we should not look at somebody else and say they are not being ethical, or they are not being in a spirit of unity, or they lack single-mindedness in trying to become going on this path. They lack the single-mindedness. Such criticism should not be leveled at anybody. This actually, if you, those of you who have followed the rules of chelaship will be familiar that this is all mentioned even in the practical occultism by HPB, that these are the things you have to have, that sense of unity with your fellow chelas to be in this path. Then, as said before, no theosophist should blame a brother, whether or whether within or outside of the association, throw slur upon his actions or denounce him, lest he should himself lose the right of being considered a theosophist. So, how did all this start? This Christian gentleman had said that I am a theosophist, I have a right to judge anybody. See how the master immediately cuts him down, and this type of cutting down the ego of the student, whether it was Sinet, whether all along anybody who wrote, whether even Alcott, HPB, the masters never hesitate to cut down your ego and tell you where you are wrong and how you have to correct yourself, because that is the path of self correction. And so here again he says that no theosophist has a right to blame anybody who's either within his own immediate association or outside it, nor does he have any right to criticize him, denounce him. And if he does all that, he can't call himself a theosophist. Ever turn away your gaze from the imperfections of your neighbor and center rather your attention upon your own shortcomings in order to correct them and become wiser. So look at the wisdom of this thing. So if you imagine, if even amongst us, if I somebody told me my faults, my first initial reaction will be I will defend myself. I will say, you don't understand me. I will have anger within me. It will develop resistance. It will not really help me unless I myself have asked the other person, what are my defects? Tell me what are my defects. And even then, if the other person tells me my defects, how difficult it is for me to correct my own defects. So actually this path is really about finding what is wrong with your own self and correcting yourself all the time. Not but in the process, I think it becomes easier to see the faults in others also. It's not that. I think it's always easy. I don't think as a theosophist we are specially inclined to finding faults. I think fault finding is something which is there in all of us. It's a tendency which we have. So that tendency we have to completely cut and look at our own imperfections rather than the imperfections of anyone around us. Then show not the disparity between claim and action in another man. Means somebody may say, I did all this, but then you might know that that person didn't do all that. So then you say, Arey, he said all these things, but actually he didn't do any of those things. So that is the disparity, that is inequality between what a person claims and action. Whether he be brother or neighbor, rather help him in his arduous walk in life. The problem of true theosophy and its great mission is the working out of clear, unequivocal conceptions of ethic ideas. So this is not a misprint. It could have been ethical ideas, but it says ethic ideas. So what it says is that rather than criticize him, you try and help him in his arduous path. So how do we help another? We can help our friends in the society, the people who work in the society, by a few words of praise, see their problem and see whether we can actually physically assist them in some way. Or main thing is somebody comes to us with a critical viewpoint, we correct them and tell them, please don't think like this. There are better ways to think. If people are being critical, you can aim to say. And if you look at the society's history, you'll see that yes, in the early 20th century, around the time of Krishnamurti, there was a division, and Rudolf Steiner went in his own way. And before that, the American section in the late 19th century had already separated. Many divisions took place, but after a certain stage and after the death of Annie Besant, we've all almost the groups that formed have all more or less been united and stayed with each other. And I think with our current president, he has also tried to bring all the various groups by inviting them to both to ADIAR and to other conferences, and bring all these other groups together. But mainly, you see, the Theosophical Society has remained united, and it's, I think, because the senior theosophists had the wisdom to follow these teachings, which we are reading right now. That is, not to be critical, to keep our criticism for our own self rather than for others. So I think all those who are now propagating theosophy also should keep these kinds of teachings in their mind when they are teaching others, saying that our aim is to stay united. So any disharmonious thought, any critical thought towards any person or any action taken by a group of people should not be viewed critically. So going forward, I'll read this whole part all over again. Whether he be brother or neighbor, rather help him in his arduous walk in life. The problem of true theosophy and its great mission is the working out of clear, unequivocal conceptions of ethic ideas and duties, which would satisfy most and best the altruistic and right feeling in us. So again, if you read studies in occultism, the what is occultism is basically this business of vivek, knowing what is right and what is wrong and what is the thing to do. So here again it says the duties which would satisfy what is the right action to be done, that, and which is the most altruistic, not selfish for one selfish goal, but what is best for others, and the modeling of these conceptions for their adaptations into such forms of daily life where they may be applied with most equitableness, which means that if I set a set of rules for myself and I say that these are the things I should do, we have to apply those rules in such a way that there is fairness do something. But if somebody else is not physically fit, and I think such is a rule that has to be followed by everybody, that is not fair. So he says that the modeling of these conceptions and their adaptations into such forms of daily life where they can be applied with the most equitableness. Equitableness means fairness. With fairness, whatever we think is doing for others, we have to apply with fairness. Such is the common work in view for all who are willing to act on these principles. It is a laborious task and will require strenuous and persevering exertion, but it must lead you insensibly to progress and leave no room for any selfish aspirations outside the limits traced. So, this whole process of firstly having a set of rules for yourself, making you becoming critical of your own actions and applying self-correction, being careful not to think of all the negativity of other people, mistakes of other people, or the errors of other people, being careful not to go against the existing structure which has been established in the Theosophical Society. All of that is involved in being a Theosophist. Do not indulge in unbrotherly comparisons between the task accomplished by yourself and the work left undone by your neighbor or brother in the field of theosophy, as none is held to weed out a larger plot of ground than his strength and capacity will permit him. So, along the way, whatever work we are given, each person does his best. And here the master says that no one is given more work than he is capable of. So don't compare yourself. In fact, I think a lot of the times I have heard theosophists compare, you know, presidents, the works of other, the higher up authorities, they compare one to the other. I think such comparisons are also very unfair, and one should not indulge in such thought processes. It's not our business. What we can do to help the society and bring the principles of brotherhood in society, in our general society, and what we can do to help the theosophical society, that's what we should be concerned with, rather than all these comparisons. Do not be too severe on the merits or demerits of one who seeks admission among your ranks, as the truth about the actual state of the inner man can only be known to and dealt with justly by karma alone. This, I think, is a very profound teaching, because our ego can make us look down upon someone who is entering or trying to enter the theosophical society. We may also be very like distrustful of someone. We may doubt their motives. So the master says, don't be too severe, don't be too strict, and look at the merits and demerits of anybody who's seeking admission in the society. As the truth of that person, only karma will know. And only karma will do the right thing. If their motives are wrong, karma will lead them, move them away from harming the society. And if their motives are good, it will keep them. And if it is going to help not only that person but also the society, they continue to be in the society. So these kinds of ideas, the master is telling that trust in karma. Don't be critical of people. Trust in karma. Whatever will happen, whatever, there is a universal justice which is karma, and it will take care of it if there is something wrong. But trust in people who want to get admitted. Even the simple presence amidst you of a well intentioned and sympathizing individual may help you magnetically. Magnetically. See, this is another beautiful thing, that this is the vibration that a person who comes with a good intention and who sympathizes with the objectives of the society, even if he has got faults in his character or her character, will be helpful for the society, will give the aura of a united society. Together we can work and help in spreading the teachings. So this presence of a well-intentioned, the intention is everything, that the HPB has said many times. You are the free workers on the domain of truth, and as such must leave no obstruction on the paths leading to it. You are the free workers on the domains of truth, and as such must leave no obstructions on the path leading to it. So there are obstructions on the path of truth. What are those obstructions? The obstructions are the lies, the deceit, the delusion, the greed, all that we have of ourselves. So greed, anger, delusion, these are our obstructions, which are the things that block us from the path of truth. The degree of success or failure are the landmarks we shall have to follow, as they will constitute the barriers placed with your own hands between yourself and those whom you have asked to be your teachers. So the extent to which we remove this, the delusions, the wrong things in our own character, which are the obstructions to our own growth, we make the path towards our teachers, the all the barriers which will be there, which we are creating by our samskars, by our continuously making mistakes on this path. We, those mistakes will are creating barriers, and we can avoid creating those barriers by not making those mistakes, and this path to the teacher will become more clearer. The nearer you approach to the goal contemplated, the shorter the distance between the student and the master. So you have to make those goals within yourself of purifying this mental body of yours, your emotional body. And the closer you are towards those goals, the distance between you and the master is also reduced. So, with this letter ends, and we can open up for discussions. This is a beautiful teaching on occultism, what occultism is all about, and the path of a theosophist. So now we will open up, we'll ask Meenakshi ji to give us our Hindi translation, and then we'll open up for discussions.
सभी को नमस्ते और थैंक यू सिस्टर। आज हम लेटर नंबर 82 ले रहे हैं, जो कि एक महात्मा का थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी के एक ईसाई सदस्य को पत्र था। उस सदस्य ने पौर्वात्य धर्मों के यानी सनातन धर्म के अध्ययन पर आपत्ति जताई थी। इसका हम अगला पार्ट ले रहे हैं। मास्टर कहते हैं कि थियोसॉफी को केवल नैतिकता का संकलन, पराभौतिक नीतिशास्त्र का संग्रह नहीं दर्शाना चाहिए। थियोसॉफी को व्यवहार में उतारना चाहिए और इसलिए इसे निरर्थक चर्चा से मुक्त रखना चाहिए। इसे जीवन की आचार संहिता में पूर्णतः निष्पक्ष रूप से अभिव्यक्त होना चाहिए। आपसी सहनशीलता, परोपकारिता और प्रेम की भावना से ओतप्रोत होना चाहिए। इसका अनुसरण करने वालों को नैतिकता का स्वयं ठोस उदाहरण बनना होगा और उसे वैसे ही लागू करना होगा। तभी उन्हें यह बताने का अधिकार होगा कि दूसरे संगठनों में और व्यक्तियों में नैतिक रूप से एकजुटता और एकनिष्ठता की कमी है। जैसे कि पहले कहा गया है, किसी भी थियोसॉफिस्ट को सोसाइटी के या बाहर के किसी भी बंधु पर दोषारोपण नहीं करना चाहिए। उसके कृत्यों पर अपमानजनक टिप्पणी नहीं करनी चाहिए या उसकी निंदा नहीं करनी चाहिए, अन्यथा वह स्वयं एक थियोसॉफिस्ट माने जाने का अधिकार खो देगा। अपने पास पड़ोसी की खामियों को नजरअंदाज करके अपने ही खामियों पर ध्यान दे ताकि उन्हें सुधारा जा सके, ठीक किया जा सके और इस तरह समझदार बना जा सके। किसी व्यक्ति के दावे और उसके कृत्य में तफावत न देखें, चाहे वह आपका भाई हो या पड़ोसी हो, बल्कि जीवन की कठिनाइयों में उसकी मदद करे। सच्ची थियोसॉफी और उसके महान उद्देश्य की चुनौती यह है कि नैतिक मूल्यों की और कर्तव्यों की ऐसी स्पष्ट और सुगम अवधारणाएं विकसित की जाए जो हम में निहित परोपकार और सद्भावनाओं को सर्वाधिक और सर्वोत्तम रूप से व्यक्त कर सके, और इन अवधारणाओं को रोजमर्रा के जीवन के ऐसे तरीकों में ढालने के लिए बनाना चाहिए जहां उन्हें सबसे अधिक न्याय संगतता के साथ लागू किया जा सके। यह उन सभी का कार्य है जो इन सिद्धांतों पर चलने के इच्छुक हैं। यह एक श्रमसाध्य कार्य है जिसके लिए कठोर रूप से निरंतर तप परिश्रम की आवश्यकता है, परंतु यह आपको सहज ही उन्नति की ओर अग्रसर करेगा और निर्धारित सीमाओं के बाहर किसी भी स्वार्थी अभिलाषा के लिए कोई गुंजाइश नहीं छोड़ेगा। थियोसॉफी के क्षेत्र में अपने किए गए कार्य और अपने पड़ोसी या बंधु के अधूरे कार्य के बीच बंधुत्व भाव रहित तुलना न करें, क्योंकि किसी से भी उसकी शक्ति और क्षमता से बाहर इस व्यापक क्षेत्र में कार्य करने की अपेक्षा नहीं की जाती है। जो कोई भी सोसाइटी में शामिल होना चाहता है, उसके गुण विशेषों पर या अवगुणों पर अत्यधिक सख्त न बने, क्योंकि मनुष्य के अंतर्मन की वास्तविक स्थिति का सत्य केवल कर्म ही जान सकता है और वही उचित न्याय कर सकता है। आपके बीच एक नेक नियत और सहानुभूति रखने वाले व्यक्ति की उपस्थिति भी चुंबकीय रूप से आपकी मदद कर सकती है। आप सत्य के क्षेत्र में स्वतंत्र कार्य करता है और इसलिए उस तक जाने वाले मार्गों को अवरोध मुक्त रखना चाहिए, बाधा मुक्त रखना चाहिए। हम कितने सफल या असफल हुए हैं, यह मार्ग में यानी पथ पर वे दिशा दर्शक हैं जिन्हें समझकर हमें अग्रसर होना होगा, क्योंकि यह वही बाधाएं बनेगी जिन्हें आपने अपने ही हाथों से अपने और उनके बीच खड़ी की है, जिन्हें आपने अपना गुरु बनने के लिए कहा है। आप अपने निर्धारित लक्ष्य के जितना करीब पहुंचते हैं, उतनी ही एक शिष्य और सद्गुरु के बीच की दूरी कम हो जाती है। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sister. So now anybody would like to add something? Dubalji, would you like to add anything? You are not mute, sir. You are mute, sir. You are not unmute. Yes.
Very interesting and inspiring letter. And practically, I have noticed many times
We
that
can't hear you. Can you speak little louder?
Okay. So whenever I do some projects, I have seen that the help from the masters is always available. So blessings are always there. When you are doing work for the Theosophical Society, and your ideas are for the benefit of the masses, definitely masters are always with you and you get the blessings. So if you are honestly working, dedicated for the cause of the theosophy, then you definitely get the blessings and all our actions as per our goals we are able to do if you are honest and you get the good wishes from other people also. They never object whatever you do if they fully trust you. That is how the masters are inspiring us and assisting us. This is what I have noticed practically. Thank you.
Nice. Very nice, sir. Thank you. Anybody else would like to say a viewpoint? Lakshmi ji, would you like to say something?
I came late. I could not listen. Chief, I forgot the timing. I was watching some other work. I forgot.
Later. Who else is there? Sharma ji, I think, would like to say something. Pradip ji, are you there available? I think he's not there. Sushma ji, would you like to say something? We have a lot of time. We have finished very early today.
Vimal ji, your presentation was very good. I think these letters give us message how to live our daily life. And we are supposed to be very careful about our action, thoughts, and emotions. Only then we will be able to contribute to Theosophical Society and society at large. I think so.
Yes. So generally, we see a lot of criticism. Means not criticism, means they are very strict and even small faults. If the person is even thinking something wrong, the master is correcting. We have
Yes.
seen. in the letters. So how careful we have to be on this path.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is nice. Thank you, Sushma ji. Thank you. Okay, I think we can end the meeting. It is a little short, but it's also summer vacations. So all of you can enjoy your Friday. I will end with the closing prayer, and I thank you all for joining today. Thank you so much. So I'm going to say this St. Francis's prayer. It's a really beautiful. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is offense, let me bring pardon. Where there is discord, let me bring union. Where there is error, let me bring truth. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. Where there is despair, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, let me bring your light. Where there is sadness, let me bring joy. O Lord, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that one receives, it is in self forgetting that one finds, it is in forgiving that one is forgiven, it is in dying to the self that one awakens to eternal life. Thank you so much.